Howdy, Beaver Bart here, and welcome. This is a quick live stream that I'm going to do on playing the demo version of my game that I've put together so far. And with that, let's go ahead and fire it up. Links are in the description to where the asset packs that were used in the creation of this demo. So if you want to look into getting them on your own, the links are in the description. Alright, so this is my main menu for right now, and still relatively simple. Name of the game is Center of Gravity, and if you're not familiar with it, I do recommend you check out my Discord channel, where I've got a description of what we're going to be doing with the game as it progresses. But as of right now, it's just a shooter demo, so jump in and have a little fun. Turn the volume down on it so it's not bleeding over through the microphone, so you can actually hear what's going on. Desktop audio seems a little loud. Let me bump that down just a hair. Okay, this should be a little bit better. Okay, so we've got some affiliates and some future affiliates that I'm working on trying to get. One being here, the symbol kind of hidden underneath the hand. It's Castle, and if you're not familiar with Castle Crypto guys, check them out. Great bunch of guys. It's a cryptocurrency that's available on the market, so do check those guys out. And one that I'm trying to get a hold of and get set up as an affiliate is Black Rifle Coffee Company. So if you know anybody from Black Rifle Coffee Company, feel free to let them know that I'm still trying to get them as an affiliate. So yeah, this is my nice little active menu. Still some work needs to be done. What happens is I've got the ceiling fan set up. These are assets that I made attached to the UE4 existing lamp, or ceiling lamp. I do have the blueprint set up for the ceiling fans. You see they're both moving at different speeds. They kind of go between a random speed, automatically selected whenever they spawn into the map. The characters that are being used are part of the maps being used in this demo are from Synty Studios, and the major animation system for the shooter portion of it, which let's go ahead and get into that. We're going to host a game, and this one is a work in progress that's still needs a lot of work, and I'm going to get back to actually doing some work on it. It's called Beefloville, and this map is one that I'm creating. Let's jump right into the map and take a look. The shooting system being used is from MoCap Online. Yeah, you should be able to hear the audio and clear now. The MoCap Online for the actual primary animations for the shooting and stuff, really great setup. Love using it. I have made some minor changes to it here and there. For some reason, I don't know why, the textures are not being applied to this table or the guns on the table. I don't know why. It's working on the other tables, just this one particular one. I replaced their weapon station with the table in front of you see. And I replaced the weapons from the game, all but the rocket launcher, with weapons from the Synty Studios Polygon Heist map. And now the containers I made myself. These are assets that I put together. They're just a basic closed container. You can see they got door on one side, and on the other side it's closed up. I do have another version, which I'll show you here in just a second, of that container that I made. So you can come over here. You got some cardboard boxes you can hide behind. You can crouch. You can, with the shooting system, you can actually shoot over the top. Reload, all the animations are set up and tied in. Just died. I need to fix the death animation on this guy. So let's get back over here, and I'm going to jump down off the van, come over here, and grab the sniper rifle. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out to my pistol, which I need to fix the socket on there because the pistol doesn't show up on the hip correctly anymore. Minor little thing, but this is to show the other container that I made. Still need to fix the textures on it, but you know, it gets the point across. You can actually walk inside, and It's a really weird lighting effect here too. I've changed the med kits over to med kits from Polygon Heist Pack, and I like the way they look. Lighting is a little bit off, but you can see these actually have color. You'll see it better when I go to another one. And let's actually head out of here. Jump down over here. Put only one way to get into this side. It's going to be a 2 forts style map, and you got another fort on the other side. Let's look at the table inside here. See, color's just fine. Nothing different, just weird effect that one table on the other side doesn't have any color to it. As much as I like the rocket launcher, and it adds a lot of fun, probably going to end up taking the rocket launcher out and putting the submachine gun in. Just because, you know, I do love it. I do need to make some adjustments to the pistol because I currently have the pistol damage set a little too high. Put a little bridge over here. These pieces right here are from the Polygon City pack, and this actually was a street divider I used to make a little small bridge. Just got some overturned vehicles. Just being weird, I decided to go ahead and put in the ramps made out of different materials just for whatever. Yeah, you can see how much damage that pistol did with just a few shots. I gotta turn the damage down. What I found is when we're in here playing, people will tend to use the pistol, and it's just a little too OP. It'll take me a couple seconds to fix that, but I just haven't in this version yet. So with the med kits, they're within the MoCap Online. When you place down the med kits, you can actually go into each individual one that you place down and adjust the value of it, and it'll adjust it. These are I set to 25. Same thing with the ammo packs, which is really cool. So if you're trying to make a map and you want to put things down, and you can also set the respawn time, which, let me actually grab the rocket launcher and damage myself a little bit. Alright, that's more than enough damage. So it's so easy to upgrade and add things into this. So there, I've set those to give me 25 health, and I put a 1 minute delay on them. So you can't just sit here and camp and shoot across. Now, if you are crouched and you try to use your rocket launcher, well, I would need to have the rocket launcher equipped, though, wouldn't it? Be nice. You will end up damaging yourself. So camping with the rocket launcher is a bad idea. So you will end up shooting the barricade in front of you and causing yourself damage. Oop, gotta reload. So we'll run over here and grab the 2 med kits from this side, since there's a 1 minute spawn. So it's nice being able to set the amount. You can set it to 1 if you want to, or you can set it to 100 if you want to. Since the max health that I have set up for our characters in this is 100, then you want to kind of not go over 100 unless you want to have some buff. You can see the damage of the rocket launcher is pretty excessive. Well, it's pretty good, actually. Not excessive, it works out pretty well. But when you change over to the pistol, it does considerable more damage than a rocket launcher does. So that's why I need to adjust the balance on the damage. Alright, so this is a work in progress. This is going to be kind of like a container yard / junkyard kind of deal where it's 2 forts. I'll try to set this up to be free-for-all like it is now, and also to be a team versus team map. So you hit escape, go back to the main menu. So different versions, go to Polygon City, and make. And inside here, really like this map. Now I've added some other features in from, this is Polygon City asset pack. Again, using the Polygon Heist weapons and using the MoCap Online shooter stuff. But I've also added in their elevator. I love the elevator. It's easy to use when you place it into your map. I did change the textures on it, but when you place it in the map, it sits here at the base height, and then you can adjust the height that you want it to travel up and down. And there's even a little blue diamond looking thing that hovers above it that actually shows you where it's going to stop. So you can keep adjusting that number to where you can get that diamond to show where it's going to end. So there's no guesswork. Now, I didn't set up the collisions on these buildings other than what they came from the Synty studios. So you're hovering over the top of the actual mesh because of the collision box. You can see the height from the ground to here and the height from here to here was able to adjust just right to be able to get you up onto this rooftop. And there is a gap in between, so you have to jump across where you will fall and get fall damage. Now, I was considering taking out fall damage because in the previous version that I used of this map, when you see sewer caps, this type of sewer cap was normal, but if you find the other style, that's the bullseye type, you see the ones that were this style right here, they were actually launchers that would throw you up into the air, and I had them set up to where you could get on top of buildings, jump from building to building, utilizing the jump pads. But jumping 50 feet or 100 feet up into the air and fall damage equals no bueno. I know I have one over here. I love this asset pack from Synty Studios. I got the first one, which was the city pack, and started looking at guns, and then saw that there was one that was for the heist pack. I'm going to go ahead and change my weapons out. But weapon number 4 is the AK. Number 2 is the sniper rifle, so you can bring it up. I need to adjust the angle. I don't know if you can see where the barrel's pointing, but I have it pointed the wrong way. I haven't fixed the animations on them yet. Middle mouse button will get you your reticle. So I needed to address that and fix a few more things here and there. Number 3 key is going to bring your shotgun up. I changed the sound files, and if you're familiar with the MoCap online sounds, I changed my shotgun sound. I like it a little bit better, and my pistol sounds definitely got changed also. Same thing with the sniper. But you got to fix that collision on there again. Go to the sniper rifle. Change the sound file on that. I like that sound file. It just works pretty good for me. You can sprint. However, if your weapon is out, you cannot sprint. I like that feature. That makes sense. Because you're not going to be out there throwing aim down while you're running. It's another example of using the elevator at a custom height set to where you want it to go. Alright, so I can sit here and walk around this map for an hour just showing everything on this map. It's a really cool map, and this was the demonstration map that came with the Polygon City. So essentially you buy this asset pack and set up your animations and your weapon systems and everything else that you want, and you can just jump right into it. It's called demonstration, but I renamed it so I could use more of their maps. And you can change the color of the cars as well. I'm not used to having the guys running around, so it kind of freaks me out a little bit whenever I see somebody walking. Reload. Now this is actually the pistol that I'm using is actually the G17L, which you can't really see it because I screwed up, but it has the flashlight mounted to it, and I had it working to where the flashlight would come on, but I couldn't get it to turn back off correctly. So I'll fiddle around with that and I'll figure that out and get that working correctly. So you could add the flashlight on to any of your existing weapons, and as soon as you go into your aimed mode, or combat mode in this case, then the flashlight automatically turns on. So wherever the weapon's pointing is where the flashlight's going to be projecting its light out. Works great, I just can't figure out the best way to get it to turn off. So let's actually go back to the main menu, and see every time you go into the main menu, the person behind and in front of the counter, they randomly change. So they're different each time. Same thing with the speed of the ceiling fans. Go back to multiplayer, host, take a look at the bank heist. Doesn't matter what I'm calling these maps right now because I'm the only one playing. This is from Polygon Heist. And the only things that I've done in here was I actually removed this door so you could run through it easier, and I fixed a collision on the metal detector so you can actually walk through it. The problem was, from the get-go, the collision was set wrong and you couldn't go through it. And on the Polygon City map, the street textures themselves, or the street tiles, did not actually have collision, so if you stepped into the roadway you'd fall through. Now with the MoCap Online, I did change the ammo pickups as well, with pickups that were from the Synty Studios Polygon Heist Pack. And try to get a good view of that here. Let me actually come in here, swap out one of the tables with the table that I set up for weapons, grab the snipper, and it is a couple grenades and a couple magazines and stuff that are next to each other. And I kept the rotating movement. I like that. It looks really cool. So, at least I think so. So you got meg kits that are floating and adjustable, and ammo pickups that are floating and adjustable. And again, you can set the amount of ammo or the amount of health from each one of them. And for those who get really froggy and want to be, I call it butthole mode, you can sneak around back of the building. And I popped in an elevator in the back side of the building. I should be showing everybody this. Should let it be a secret. But I popped in one of the elevators from the MoCap Online. I already had an elevator system that was in the game, but I like the way theirs works better, because it does have the easy to adjust height and the little visible marker. And you can see from the health bar, I did change the location and the color of the health bar. So you can come over here, and I've removed the glass from in here. So now you can actually shoot through, but you can also jump through. And I put a weapons table up here as well. So you get off one of these guys. I'll fix the death animations later. It's not necessary. I just added them in here. So if you wanted to goof around and get some shooting practice before you start going head-to-head with other players, not a problem. But you can stand up here on this and position yourself in such a way that you can, you're shooting people and they're like, where the hell is he shooting at me from? And then when you get ready, you can just drop down and continue the carnage. Reload. Alright, so that's cool. This is a small map. It was meant to be fast and fun and just be cool to play with. And I couldn't help but add in the final map that's in here for right now, and I'm going to add a whole lot more maps in here to play around with, is the demo map that came with the MoCap Online. And MoCap equals more awesome. Alright, so I kept the guys in here that were sitting at the table, shoot these guys stationary. And it was nice enough to provide some ammo for you right there. And the original map that came with the earlier version of this was pretty cool, but I like the improvements. It gives you some functionality changes. However, the very first one on the list, which I need to remove from their list, M equals toggle quit game button, I did disable that, and I used the escape key to give you the main menu and resume game button. It gives you a mouse cursor, and then if you hit resume game, it takes your mouse cursor away. They added the signs to say different locations. They added in the elevators. Some really giant dudes over here and over there watching what we're doing. They added in the sniper tower. And I'm going to say this. If you're a sniper and you know anything about sniping, the worst possible place you could go is up there, because it is the most obvious location to use for being a sniper. And that's why I use it all the damn time when I'm playing with people in here. It's because it's so obvious that nobody would be dumb enough to actually use it, so I actually use it. So they don't expect anybody to actually be up there. So that's what makes it a really good sniper vantage point, is because it's well above everything else. And I did change the range on the sniper rifle as well. The range was a little bit on the limiting side. Hurry up, run, 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 run. Doors will open up. You can go over here. You can hop inside. And I'll be quiet for just a second if that's physically possible. Bing bong, doors closing.
Please do not exit the vehicle until it has come to a complete stop.
Nice touch. And it rotates completely around, so the doors are open up to this side. It'll carry you up this little pathway, and the doors will open up. Boom, boom. And you got one health kit, and you have one ammo kit. I know your voice is the one that's on all the regular characters, but is yours the female voice also in the elevator? That's cool. We got some stationary targets we can shoot at. They're a bit easier to kill than my guys are. Really no true delay. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorites on the death animations. And I'll have to come down here and, you know what, can be impatient and just do that. Grab the AK, because I knew there's help with it. That can be awesome again. Alright, he did good. This guy over here down on the bottom, I believe it's this guy will do it. See, I always thought he said, oh my god, my nuts are falling out, which just sounds even funnier.
No, please don't shoot me again, please. No, I don't even have any guns. No, please stop.
See if we can hear it again here.
My nuts are falling out. No.
Love it. That's one of my favorites. But if you just walk away and you're not listening, you know, you're not actually messing with these guys. They're actually saying different things while they're standing there. I like the comment being made about they didn't even give us any guns. Yeah, I gotta fix death animations. He's dead, he just hadn't figured it out yet. Wasted ammo. Shoot him up. So yeah, really cool map. There's a lot of cool things you can run around and explore. I don't want to give away all the little ins and outs that the guys are really doing the wave. That's pretty cool. Oh my god, I hear banjos. So did you do the MoCap on the catwalk? Everybody wants to feel sexy every now and then, even these guys. Gotta love it. Was there 25 floating there? What is actually is that a health kit there or ammo? www.mocaponline.com. Get out of my damn way. I know, killing strippers is wrong. Thou shalt not kill strippers. We got a meeting going on. I think every meeting room should have a table full of guns. That keeps everybody in the meeting, you know, honest. You don't want to offend anybody because there's a table full of guns. Somebody might reach over and grab one. So again, I don't want to show everything on this map because there's a lot of cool little things to it. But by extending the sniper rifle's range, which changed over to the sniper rifle, to the AK, but you can now sit over here and shoot across the map if your aim's good enough. The damage I will increase a little bit on the sniper rifle, but I'm going to leave some accuracy movement. I took and made it a little bit more accurate, but I don't want to make it too accurate. I don't want someone to be able to sit across the map and completely have full sniper access. I do like the addition of the little trolley cars going back and forth here. So, really cool map. Yeah, I like this stuff. Only complaint that I have about it is the this is what happens whenever you only do your ammo at 2. It only gives you 2 bullets for each one of those you pick up. They're tiny versus 25 is this size. And then if you look over to medkit over there and ammo over there, they're set to 100, so they're much bigger. It's still creeping me out every time I see people on the map. Come back here, you butthead. So the animations are already there inside the pack. All I've done is I just retarded the animations to where they'll work on these characters. Didn't take much time to actually set it up. I've actually done another version that also had cyborg characters in it for somebody else. Yeah, cool stuff. So look forward to getting some more maps. I got guys on my team are working on some new maps. One of them, I don't want to say what it is, but I don't want to say good things about it because I don't want him to get like a case of the big head or nothing. But I'm liking where he's going with it. You know, the Beefloville map, that's one that I'm slowly working on as I have time. Hopefully I'll get some more time to get it looking a lot better. A lot more stuff on there. But yeah, the thing I was going to complain about was the BSP geometries, and this is one of my pet peeves. Oh crap! Didn't sprint. The size of the bricks here versus the ones up here and that kind of stuff. The BSP geometries were adjusted using. You see, these are from here to here. It's supposed to be 100 units. Actually, from here to here is only 50 units. So you can see the distance from here to here is supposed to be the same distance as from here to here. So these were actually stretched out BSPs instead of actually, yeah, I mean they're starter content assets for this is concrete tiles and this is brick, the old brick. There's also a new brick, which is the red brick style. But what I was saying is, by looking at the size here to here, there to there, compared to the from here to here, these are supposed to be squares, not rectangles. It doesn't look bad like this, but knowing that this is supposed to be a square instead of a rectangle, and they're supposed to be 50 units by 50 units. Yeah, if you use BSP geometries, and I've done plenty of videos on doing it, where you use a BSP geometry and then convert it into a static mesh. I do that all the time, and that's how I made the containers. Were just BSP geometries that I converted into static meshes, and then I throw them into a blueprint so I don't have any lighting issues with the normal way they're done. So it works out pretty well for me. Sorry, I had to redeem myself with that jump. So when you do it, you can actually do it in a way that you're not stretching the BSP out. You actually change it in the actual physical properties versus just using the normal deform tool. You don't want to use a normal deform to resize it. It's okay to use it to rotate it and to move it up and down, left and right, your XYZ coordinates on it, but I do recommend not actually doing the scale transform. Actually go in and change the number from 200 by 200 by 200 if you want to make it this thick. Looks like this is about 100 on the Z height, and then you can set your X to, say if this was the X axis, The x-axis would be, we'll say, 2,500. Yeah, I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, and this is a hint to anybody making maps also. If you're setting the distance from here to here, change the dimensions in your panel for the brush details of the actual BSP. This would be like, we'll say 2,500 or close to 3,000 in the X, and then the Y would be, this is roughly 900 just by looking at it. 900 to 1,000. So when you actually put it into the map, you manually enter the numbers for your X, Y, Z. We'll say like this platform here would be from here to the end over there would be X 3,300, Y would be 1,000, and Z would be 100. And then when you do that, it doesn't stretch the BSPs out and doesn't stretch the materials out. So that's awesome. Same thing with these. Same thing with the with any of them. So when you're doing it, you have uniform scale of your actual meshes. So your BSPs look better overall because the textures are actually applied correctly to it. And it is nice that you can actually apply textures. Like that, I would have done the same thing on the angle. Yeah, that would be cool too, to have them moving around. At some point, I'll actually take these roving ones that I've got, I'll fix their death animation, but I'm also going to allow them to start utilizing their weapons. So they'll actually be shooting at you, so you'll have more targets to work with. So this is the normal brick scale and pattern size. So those are right. And I like that it's got a different texture on top. It kind of looks like that was plastered over and I just put a texture on top. So now what would actually be cool for those, you get used to them roaming around and doing nothing. They're carrying a gun right now just because I have it attached to their model. But they're just in an unarmed status. You get used to them running around like that. Instead of random timer on each one of them, got a random integer in range, and set that range to like 10 minutes to 30 minutes. So you're out here just goofing off, walking around the map, doing a YouTube video, explaining things about all this lovely stuff. Then all of a sudden this little bastard turns around and opens fire on you. You're like, oh crap, I got to go, got to go. And you run down here and like, okay, this guy's not shooting at you. So, okay, and you start walking away, and then that guy starts shooting, then that one starts shooting. You don't know when they're going to go into a combat mode just to totally screw you up. Thanks, Nick. You get your butt back on the team and go back to work and get some more cool stuff done. But yeah, I like this map overall. I gotta have something to complain about. I'm old and I complain about everything. So that was my major complaint, was the BSP geometries weren't done correctly so that the material scaled correctly. And I think my new, you know, yeah, those guys still kind of creep me out a little bit. The huge guys. Yeah, with the new ammo kits and med kits that are used from the Synty Studios heist pack, I think they came out pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to go back into the... I don't know about you guys, but I like this menu. I mean, it's not finished, and it's not 100% refined. The interior of this is one of the actual generic restaurants that I'm doing, and I've placed in, ignore the animations for these guys. Like the shelf, I made that shelf. This shelf here, the circular one, this one was actually done out of BSP geometries. Same thing with the shelf here. The interior, all the rafters, the walls, the floor. This entire restaurant was done out of BSP geometries. And just being cheesy for now, I went ahead and put a text render in to show the name of the game. Imported a few custom textures here and there. But you can see the difference between this is the new brick and that's the old brick. they're different sizes on their own, but I set up the BSP geometries to let's go back to this one. I did set it up to where if you select the, and this was fun figuring out too, I check in here so that I can use this map, but I check right here and I change the map. It unchecks that one and checks the new one, and getting all that configured, figuring that out was tough at first. The new version of this menu, whenever you select it here, instead of it saying select a map, this right here changes to say the name of the map you have selected. You put whatever lovely naming you want, and just gotta show also, I made this big, huge, gigantic walls that go all the way around, and they were scaled on the BSP geometry. I think the width of this wall was 12,000 by 22,000 or something like that. But by setting the size of the BSP geometry, it kept the uniform scale to the actual material applied to it. But I was kind of proud of my quickly thrown together. These, the two container types, the closed one and the one with the open side of it, these were made in about, both of them combined, maybe 15 minutes. You can see I have an issue where I needed to redo the interior texture here. But essentially the standard one is just a BSP geometry of a cube with custom textures put onto it, and then, or materials that I made from textures that I got. And then to make the inside part, I just turned it into being hollow, and then I put a subtractive BSP geometry in as the door. I need to change the material that's applied to the edge, and I'll probably do like a rusty material just because. And let's actually go back to the main menu. I'll actually exit the game and bring up the project really quickly. I don't want to show a whole bunch of the project because, well, it's my game. It's my project that I'm working on. So I'll bring it up and I'll show you what I was talking about on that. So whenever I created the BSP geometries for the container, what I did was I created the two versions. Yes, that was this one. So quickly just jump in here and load up that and change the material. But doing it as a BSP geometry, you can set up creating your own things like the that container. Essentially, it was just a freaking cube that was a BSP geometry cube that I rescaled, applied materials to it, and then there you go. But the way I did it, when you put a subtractive BSP geometry in, you set up whatever texture you want to be there where the holes cut out. So this is actually the scene from the main menu. There's nothing else out here. It's just a blank, empty map. And I've added the camera in, and this is my render target character. These guys randomized, the fans randomized, things like that. So if I were to actually play this separately, it's still going to come up to the main menu, because this is my main menu map. So let's actually get off of this one and go to, I have one called Mesh Maker where I come in here and I actually start creating my own meshes and throw together the BSP geometries. Come on, load up. Don't mind me with what I was... This is what happens whenever I get bored and I try to take my mind off of things, is things like this happen. Yes, I was completely bored and just screwing around with stuff. Yeah, so ignore all that. That's just kind of goofing off here. Grab this cannon, throw it out of the way. And I'll grab you three guys and get you out of the way as well. I no longer need you in my scene. Asshole mio. Alright, so now that I've created a I got all this junk in here too. Let's make a shit folder, and I'm just going to grab everything in my shit folder except for those two. Throw them in the shit, close that, grab those two. I like to be somewhat clean. Alright, so with that, what I've done is in my asset folder and blueprints, I've got the container that's closed as the blueprint and the container that's open as the blueprint, and I can now just drag those two into the map, and there you go. Setting them up as blueprints affects the way the lighting works on these custom BSP geometries, because it doesn't always work too well when you do a lighting build. But if I go into the actual mesh for the container, look at the open one here, you see there's actually 3 textures on here. You've got one for the front, the back, and the sides, and the roof was just done as a the end material. But now I can come in here and I should be able to change this one. Let's see what happens if I just change out a material here. And I changed that one. And let's try changing this one out. Yeah, that's it right there. So if I change this one, it affects both of them, and I don't want to do that. So what I'll have to do is I'll probably end up going back and remaking it so that this has its own separate material. So I'll need to fix that separately. But if you actually were to take just the static meshes, and we have, that's the open one, so I'll drag you right there. It's not sized to the correct height, and they're going to look like that. You can fix the height in your blueprint so that when you place them on the map, they're always going to go down to the 0 height of where you're placing them. But now, by placing these two in here, let's look at them. They look the same. Everything's good to go. The collisions work. They're all set up. They're the same. But as soon as I do a lighting build, the BSP geometries are going to be stupid, and they're not going to show the lighting correct. And since I'm in a video live streaming this, it's probably going to work just fine. So just bear with the quick lighting build here. You can see what happens is they turn the materials, the lighting effects on them absolutely goes to hell in a handbasket. And that's because of how they were set up. They don't affect lighting correctly. So just simply by putting in the same static mesh into a blueprint, you can cheat a little bit and get around that. So that's what happens if you don't do it correctly. And I never said that I was doing it correctly. I just said this is how I do it. So yeah, I was testing out the effects of the cannon, setting up some kinetic energy, so you could actually try to set up a map that was for 2 opposing forts that actually had swiveling usable cannons that fired at different rates and different accuracy rates and so forth, that you could actually come in here and knock down the blocks. Now these were just 100 by 100 cubes. They weren't meant to be perfect. Would do something different in collision. So I just have it set up with a collision box to trigger it. See, the cannonballs go in different ways. Just kind of screw around with stuff. So you can knock down some, and they don't always fall down. And it does affect the navigation of the minions running around as well. So yeah, that's that. Alright. Mostly what I wanted to show was just, no, we're not going to save that. Go away. Was actually showing the game in the demo form that it's in right now, and let you guys know where I got the assets to go with it. So you can, if you want to start creating your own version of that, you can knock yourself out, go buy those assets. They're well worth the money, and you'll be supporting lovely people like Mr. John Galt there. Won't be supporting me any, so if you want to support me for all of my hard work and effort, and for showing you guys this stuff and showing you how to make some of these things work and how to adapt them into your projects, don't hesitate to scroll on down there and grab that PayPal link and send me a few bucks as a nice little gesture. There are 2 new asset packs from Synty Studios that I desperately want to get, but I tell myself that if I want to get new assets, then my working on video games and my helping other people work on stuff with video games needs to pay for its own self. So if you guys want to see anything on how to make any of these assets work together so that you can do your own version of what I'm doing right now, then show a little love and send a few bucks my way. That allows me to buy new asset packs. When you start buying lots and lots of asset packs, I've probably got a couple $1,000s worth of asset packs sitting on my hard drive right now that, you know, they don't pay for themselves. So I want to get the Synty Studios War Pack and the Western Pack, and the only way that's going to happen is if you guys help contribute. And if you do, then I'm going to be putting them into a game that'll let you guys download and play and shoot each other and blow each other's brains out in, but also I can show you how to use them in your own projects. So if you want me to help you guys out with that, return the favor and help me out by sending me a few bucks so I can get those. You know, if this video gets seen by 100 people and those same 100 people sent me $1, I could pretty much pay for the 2 asset packs that I want. We're looking at $110 for those 2 asset packs. They're well worth the money, don't get me wrong, but it's going to take 110 people sending me $10 a pop, or 110 people sending me $1 a pop, or, you know, 11 good people sending me $10, or one good person sending me $110. I love you all equally. Not really. But, alright, we're going to leave this video at that. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the sneak peek at the demo for my shooter game, and there is a lot more to come in the near future. I mean, there's already been a bunch of changes to the game already, and since I actually released this one last week. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.